Hey everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, part of the Otelier demo series. This time we're going to take a look at 3 solutions that are aimed at driving efficiencies in the back office. From the on-property teams to the operations and accounting departments at corporate, each of these tools automate tasks that were previously handled manually, freeing up your teams to focus on providing exceptional guest experiences. My name is Jason Fareed, and I'm the Hospitality Data Evangelist at Otelier, and in a few minutes I'll be joined by Rasha Rimzin, Product Manager, and Russ Meek, Senior Director of Product Strategy. Your audio is on mute, but please feel free to ask questions during this presentation in the chat box below, and Russ is going to tackle all your questions at the end. Also, this session is being recorded, and tomorrow we'll send an email to all the registrants with the link to the video and slides. Before we dive in, I want to give you a quick Otelier overview. Otelier was launched in February 2024 after the consolidation of several best-in-class business intelligence and back-office solutions. Today, our product suite solves challenges in 3 verticals. Back-office automation includes DigiAudit for Night Audit compliance and month-end reporting, DigiPay for accounts payable automation, and Rec for financial reconciliations. Our budgeting and forecasting tool, TruePlan, allows you to optimize the financial planning process, including year-end budgeting and your real-time dynamic forecast. For business intelligence, IntelliSite allows you to transform data from all the systems and revenue outlets across your hotels into dynamic visualizations and actionable insights. Today we're focused on back-office automation, and we're going to demo 3 tools that will help you reduce the time spent on repetitive tasks and better control labor costs. DigiAudit will allow you to standardize the Night Audit process across your portfolio into a secure, indexed repository and automate signature workflows. DigiPay will allow you to authorize vendor invoices quickly using streamlined approval workflows and one-time click payment solution with no transaction fees. Rec will allow you to automate bank reconciliations and income audit journaling and flag OTA discrepancies for reconciliation on third-party bookings. Let's get into the products and see what they look like. First up is DigiAudit, and for that I'm going to turn it over to Rasha.
Thank you, Jason. I will now take you all through a brief demonstration of DigiAudit Plus, formerly known as MyDocs. We will explore how DigiAudit can address your specific needs and provide you with a competitive edge in the market. DigiAudit consists of 3 main components: Report Repository, Universal Loading Portal, and Compliant Dashboard. Let me start with Report Repository, which is a cloud-based document management system that allows you to securely store, organize, and manage your Night Audit documents. This, also known as the Quick Search Filter, allows you to filter your search in order to view a particular report or a category of report. By default, your HMG will be selected, and if you have a single hotel, your hotel will be selected. In my case, I have 4 different hotels, so I have all by default, but I can filter based on a document. The date range will be defaulted to a current business date. Let's click on Go to explore what the Report Repository has. Currently, the repository supports 3 different ways of file ingestion: email, SFTP, and ULP, which is the Universal Loading Portal. Report Repository automatically indexes your documents, ensuring efficient categorization through the addition of indexes. Report name, business date, report category, hotels are some of the indexes which help to uniquely identify the files stored in the repository. Additionally, it allows you to set access permission, giving control to define who can edit and share the document. It also has a robust search capability. You can search by any of the defined indexes and quickly access the document, conveniently retrieving it within the repository. Let me show you some capabilities of the Report Repository. The indexing capability allows you to modify the indexes associated with a single or a multiple document by changing the indexes associated with the document. You need to select the new index and click on Save, which will update the repository. The next capability I would like to talk about is Markup, which allows you to review the document, add comments, which will timestamp and the person who commented on the document. This will ensure a good audit trail where any documents updated will have the name and the timestamp. We do also have version management, where A document's versions will be maintained in the repository. For example, if a PMS report comes in a text format, the report repository maintains that as the version 0 and the file gets converted to PDF and stored as version 1. So there's always traceability to find the original document in the repository. Versions can be downloaded by clicking on the download. The check-in capability allows you to add new versions to the existing document without uploading it as a new document to the repository. So this helps you to maintain newer versions of document in the repository and makes the retrieval easy when you need to refer back to the documents and the different versions. Share allows you to share the documents to other users. So we maintain a security restriction where you're allowed to only share your documents within your domain. You can add expiration to the document and a password so that the document to be available only within the permitted time. Documents can also be downloaded and if required, deleted, which will be stored in the recycle bin. We also provide certain user preferences. If users would like to limit what they see in this table, they could adjust it using the edit column capability. And there is also a capability to export the search results so that if you would like to see what are the documents that I have uploaded for this particular business date, you can do that by doing a quick export of which will give you that information in an Excel sheet. Let me move to the Universal Loading Portal. The report list here gives an overview to the night auditor, whoever is uploading the document, as the status of the reports in the system. So in this case, all the reports are available for today's business date for this particular hotel. I'm going to show you an example of how a report can be uploaded to the system. So in this case, I'm uploading a document. So the report has been mapped as test2. The file name has been mapped to AR detail report. The system will automatically map your report to the indexes based on your initial configuration. This helps especially the night auditors to upload the missing reports in a timely manner to stay compliant. Let's move to the compliance dashboard, which provides the GMs and the corporate users a comprehensive overview of the report and signature compliance for a single hotel or across the portfolio. As you can see, it clearly shows the report compliance and the signature compliance percentage. You can filter and see a single hotel, or you can see the compliance statuses across your portfolio. It shows what are the reports required for the day. Out of that, what are the signature reports and whether the signature reports are available in the system, and if available, who are the signers who have signed off on this document. If a document is pending signature, it also gives the capability to remind the signer to complete this packet. Apart from that, Compliance 2 has certain reports that can be exported. Signers complete their signature packets using DocuSign, and the statuses reflect in the compliance dash, indicating who has signed and who is still pending to be signed. Once the signature packet is completed, it provides a signature certificate offering increased security, legal validity, and global acceptance. This is a certificate which is provided by DocuSign. This provides when was it sent, when was it viewed, and when was it signed, which makes it legally valid. In conclusion, DigiAudit Plus has impressive features, making it a powerful solution that can significantly enhance your operations and drive success. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rasha. That was great. I'm going to move us over to a quick demo of our new product, Rec, which is a set of reconciliation workflows that helps hotels balance out their day. That includes an income audit journaling capability, a bank reconciliation capability, as well as an OTA reconciliation capability. As we log into the Otelier platform and navigate over to the accounting page, you'll notice the page is broken up by month. You can navigate to prior months. It defaults to the current month. Further down, you'll get a summary of your ledger balances for advanced deposits, guest ledger, and city ledger, as well as the ability to click in and view the historic balances for the current month. Over to the right, you'll see a detail of your top 5 AR accounts, and you're able to click in and view an aging of all accounts. If we continue down the page, you'll notice the business details area. In here is where the reconciliation flows really begin to take off. Over on the left, you'll have all your revenues, which are represented as credits, and then you'll see all your deposits represented as debit. You'll also see the net change on each of your ledgers, a revenue minus deposits column that does the math for you and ensures that every day your credits and debits balance out to zero. Now, sometimes you need to make note of why something may have been out of balance and a manual adjustment was necessary, or you may want to have your team put in that they looked at it and they actually balanced the day. And so we have the capability of capturing comments on a daily basis. Now you'll notice a lot of little green check boxes and red check boxes, as well as a green J here. What the green J means is that we've successfully journaled, meaning that we've been able to create a journal entry and post it to your accounting system. We do integrate with a variety of accounting systems, posting daily journal entries that balance to zero. Notice that our monthly layout will allow you to look at every single day and balance it out, as well as adding up all your revenues, payments down at the bottom, so that you can get a clear understanding of what's going on with your postings every day. You can also click in to expand any one of the categories so that you can understand what builds up the revenues in each of them. So you can see here that this hotel has broken it out by transaction codes in the PMS. You're able to look at all the detail and make sure everything matches along the way. We also have the capability of breaking out room revenue by revenue segments and journal by those revenue segments into your accounting system. Moving beyond room revenue, if you click through any of the other categories, as an example, other revenue, you can quickly get a picture of what type of transactions are being coded to other revenue. In this case, a lot of F&B promotion, breakfast coupons, Starbucks revenue is all going into the other revenue category. Okay, so this next section gets very interesting for hotels. So you'll notice this check details red checkbox here that I clicked. As you can see, it opens up a new window called deposit analysis. This is where our bank reconciliation functionality starts to kick in. You'll see any one of the payments has this either green or red checkbox, and you can click into it and see what your bank is settling compared to what your PMS or POS is saying should have settled. So we've got some algorithms that go in and double check the transactions from a few days in the PMS or POS against transactions in your bank account deposits over those same few days and reconciles them. And you have the ability to manually reconcile if we're not able to, but in most cases, the automatic capability kicks in and gets it done for you and gives you green check boxes across the board. There's a lot of money left on the table when transactions, for whatever reason, fail out between your systems and the bank. And this is a very good place to go and double check that your hotel is collecting appropriately, that there's no fraud going on at the hotel, refunds to other cards, things of that nature that happen all the time. This capability helps hotels make sure that they collect into the bank what they're supposed to. I'll quickly touch on, we do support multiple outlets for any hotel. So if you've got a spa or a restaurant, we can pull data in from their POS system right into REC. We also have an area of the application that touches on keeping track of your taxes on a daily basis. This area is very useful to make sure you're accounting for every tax appropriately day over day and that you're not missing out on collecting on a particular tax from any outlet at your hotel. REC can both take in and journal your statistics for the day, as well as there's a master file download where you can grab all of this data in a CSV and use it as necessary for whatever downstream processes you may have. There is a simple mapping workflow that allows you to map any codes in your systems, including the PMS and POS system, over to REC. so that as the data is being populated into these screens, it lands exactly where you are expecting it, and really set up the reconciliation workflows to work for you and to maximize the automation with the tool. Rec also includes a set of reconciliation workflows for OTAs. And what the system does is it will compare, based on the PMS data that we're taking in every day, folio amounts, stay date, guest names, to the extranet reports that you would upload into the system on a daily basis, and provides a checklist so that your front office team knows where to go find the discrepancies and deal with them appropriately. Some examples might be that a guest left on a particular day that's earlier or later than what the extranet is claiming, cancellations, late cancellations that happen where the OTA may not have accounted for it. This tool helps highlight areas of interest where a front office team can go and focus. Instead of doing this manually or creating some worksheet for your team, this will allow you to do it in a systematic and standard way, as well as keep track of all the transactions in one place, make comments on each of them so that you're all working off of the same checklist. You're maximizing the amount of collections that you can get from the OTAs. And now I'm going to transition over to DigiPay. DigiPay is really an all-in-one accounts payable automation solution designed specifically for hotels.
These new workflows simplify the managing of your hotel's vendors, invoices, and payments. Simply upload or forward your bills electronically, and our system will verify the accuracy, route them to the right team members for approval, and even pay your vendors online and on time, while seamlessly integrating with your existing accounting software. No more wasted time cutting and mailing checks. DigiPay streamlines your accounts payable processes, freeing you up to focus on delivering exceptional guest experiences. Let's get started. First up, I'm going to log into the Otelier platform, and I'm going to navigate to the vendors area. This is where a user would navigate to either add vendors, update configurations, address and contact information for a vendor, as well as search through and get a bird's eye view of the vendor from both the portfolio or hotel levels. We've conveniently placed the month to date and year to date total spend right on the first screen so that you can get an understanding of how much you're spending with each vendor. I'm going to go ahead and click here to add a new vendor. Anybody on property who you give access to will be able to add in vendors. So if you're working with, as an example, a local plumber, you might either the GM or the engineering director add in this vendor. Based on whether this is a individual or a business, it will change between a social security number or an EIN. So I'm going to go ahead and click through here and add all the basic contact information, phone number, an email address, name of the contact at the particular vendor. We also have an area for notes. It's really important sometimes to take notes on these vendors. In many cases, our hotels are part of a portfolio, and the approval process actually goes above property. It's really easy to put in notes here and capture them. We've also got an area for attachments, and you'll be able to attach the vendor agreement here so that whoever is receiving invoices or approving invoices has an idea of what the agreement entails. Down below, you'll also be able to select which hotels this particular vendor is enabled for. This makes it very easy if you're managing a portfolio to create a vendor that will be captured for all your hotels if you're all using the same vendor. Next up are the workflows. Workflows are one of the most powerful features within DigiPay. It's very configurable, and it allows you to create a workflow for your approvals that meets your needs. Instead of having to print out the invoice and have the engineering manager sign off on the plumbing, you can automate that through emails and alerts, as well as through the system, to make sure that an invoice is routed to everyone's desk and that everybody that needs to get eyes on it and is able to sign electronically with a time and date stamp. It also reinforces the approval process so that if invoices are going to a corporate office, everyone on property that is meant to see the bill sees it and signs off on it before it goes up to the accounting team. These particular workflows can be unique per property, or as you can see, I'm going to apply this particular workflow to all 3 of my demo hotels because they all have a very similar approval process. They have the same approvers in the workflow. I'm going to select who can create the bills, meaning who's able to even input invoices. I only want my director of engineering inputting invoices for my hotel. I only want the housekeeping manager to input invoices to the hotel. I'm going to select myself as the person who's going to be creating the bills for review. I'm going to select Brian, who is in this case, our regional operations manager, who will need to review each invoice before approval is given by Aparna. In this case, I'm going to set it up so that any invoices over $5,000 needs to be approved by our director of regional operations. That way someone else takes a look before we go ahead and pay it. Everybody else in the typical workflow might be able to approve up to $4,999, but if it hits that threshold, I want an extra set of eyes on it. So the last step is who actually pays the bills. Typically, this will be someone in the accounting office. In this case, we're going to go ahead and set up Ninu to do that. She will have the ability to actually pay the invoice. With our partnership and integration with Repay, we are actually able to pay the vendor on the hotel's behalf through this workflow, making sure that everyone at the organization has visibility, that it's auditable with timestamps, and that everyone had a chance to take a look at these bills before they're paid. The next step is to actually upload some bills. You have 3 options. You can either upload from the computer right from here, you can drag and drop right into this area, or you can just forward an email. The invoices will come into the system and begin moving through the approval workflow. Okay, so let's take a quick look at what that workflow looks like as the invoices start to come into the system. We'll start to see invoices populate in the draft tab. And as you can see up at the top, we've got draft, pending review, pending approval, pending payment. You can check payment status once an invoice has been checked for payment. Or if anything's been rejected, you can go here and see who rejected it and why. So let's walk through it. The draft comes in, and the next person in the workflow, the person who's supposed to review them, would go in, double check the invoice. You can see you can zoom in and double check that all the line items are the right amounts. All this gets pre-populated, by the way. One of the main things to do though is to double check that your coding is set up just right. So you can actually now, and this is a new feature to DigiPay, start to code invoices by item to specific GL accounts in your accounting system. And if we can recognize the item number on the next invoice, we will automatically populate the GL account. So this total sync might always go to this particular chart of account 10002. This is just an example. And the next time that this plumber sold us a total sync, it would automatically populate the $500 to total sync in the 10002. GL account is, okay, the first person in the workflow, the reviewer, has reviewed and said, okay, Stanford Plumbing and Heating sent us the right invoice. I agree with all of these charges. It is all the services and items they provided to the hotel. The next person in the workflow, if you remember, was the reviewer. They would go in here and click review. They also get a very similar view. They can edit or update any of the coding or make sure that it was done right. They select submit, and it will move it on to the next part of the workflow, to the next step in the workflow. At this point, the approver, since it's under $5,000, would go in here and approve. If it was over $5,000, then the person who needs to approve, when they log in, they would see it as something that they would need to approve as well. Now, it's at this point that someone could reject. You could also edit it again. You can move the bill to a different location. You can turn it into a draft again or move back to review. Or you can go ahead and approve. And then after that, you'd get to a pending payment status. So this is where whoever is responsible for actually paying the bills, Stanford and Plumbing and Heating, okay, it's gone through, it's been input into the system, it's been reviewed by someone, it's been approved by someone, and all the coding is there. I should be safe to pay it. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna hit pay down here. You will see what status that particular invoice is in. It'll be paid. You'll have the payment method there. Now, part of this payment flow is that you can pay in bulk. Once everyone's done all their work and coding and updated all the invoices and gotten through the approval workflow, the last person in that chain, the person that pays the bills, could come through here and pay a whole bunch of bills in one workflow. And that's one of the benefits of DigiPay.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the time. I'm going to go through a few of the questions that have come through. So first up, the question is, can DigiPay users upload multiple invoices at a time? Yes, you can upload multiple invoices at one time. One of the nice things is that we can input invoices via email. So you can schedule, you can set up a rule. If I always get an invoice from this plumbing company, I want it to automatically forward into DigiPay, and then the invoices would be automated via email. But there's also that drag and drop capability. So if you've got 10 or 15 invoices you need to drop in there quickly, you can drop it in, and the team or the system will start parsing it and populating the application. All right, let me see here. The next question is, how long are my reports stored in DigiAudit? So by default, the Night Audit related reports will be stored for 2 years. However, we do also offer extended document storage. So if you need to store it for longer, we can do up to 6 years right now. We'd probably go a little longer if we needed to as well. So just talk to your account manager and we can get that done. So can I use DigiAudit if I operate a branded hotel? It's a great question. So we do have the capability of working with branded hotels, absolutely. And we've got some enhanced security capabilities for certain brands that want that. So we can set it up for you. All right, the next question I've got here is, there's a specific question about not supporting AR upload at the end of July. And we've talked a little bit about this. We are replatforming and enhancing a lot of the Otelier platform. Like we mentioned earlier, there's 5 companies, we're pulling them together. So you may be, and we can talk more specifically about your particular situation. The short answer is we do support AR and in our IntelliSite products in all 3 levels, right? So Pro, Plus, and Elite. So it may just be about a specific capability that we're moving to a newer technology stack. All right, so then the next question is there an additional cost to users to complete payments using RePay? Is there any fees? So no, there's no additional cost to use Otelier's and DigiPay's capability to the hotel. Right, so we'll pay the check, or we'll pay the vendor on the hotel's behalf. There's no per transaction fee there. It's just the service fees. And let me see if there's any other questions. So, oh, this was a good one. So we already upload reports to IntelliSite. Would we have to upload them multiple times if using DigiAudit, or can one of the uploads capture the reports for both products? So the short answer is you do not have to upload twice. We now have the capability on the back end to share between the products, and it will ultimately all end up being in the same place. So the short answer is no, you don't have to upload in multiple locations. If you're already using our paperless Night Audit through DigiAudit, we can start to populate the back office automation workflows rec, and it'll be stored in the same location. You can see it on both sides of the application. Okay, I think those are all the questions. I'll give it just another 10 or 15 seconds. See if anybody has any more. Okay. Well, again, thank you very much for the time this week. I hope everyone's summer's going well, and we will see you all on the next webinar. Have a good week.